can do anything you want. I ain't got no problem with it. I promise you that shit.
Listen to the words. Garbage, a joke, clown acts, pisses me off. No, come find me. No, come find me. Listen to the word.
In a minute.
Come find me. Garbage, a joke, clown acts, pisses me off.
I ain't a hard guy to find. I promise you that shit.
Listen to the word. Garbage, a joke, clown acts, pisses me off. What is up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back into NBR, or as we like to call it around here, Nothing But Rants, the show where I find topics that I'm oddly passionate about and I pontificate upon them. These are not hot takes, but rather takes that I'm hot about, like this one right here. You know, when I heard the news of that Saturday night crash that took the lives of Devin, Willock, and Chandler LaCroix, I didn't really know how to feel, just like the rest of you. Didn't really know what to think, didn't know what to do. I was obviously saddened by the loss of two young lives and saddened for the loved ones of those closest to them. And inevitably, I knew that I would eventually have to, either talk about it, be willing to talk about it, or be asked about the topic. And I figured we'd start the show with that tonight. We haven't been on air since not only did they win a national title, have a national title parade, but obviously had, a really, really tragic night in the Georgia, family, the Georgia football family. And I will just say this. I didn't know Devin Willock, the human being. I knew Devin Willock, the 6'7", 335-pound offensive guard that was spot playing for the national champs. That's who I knew. I could tell you anything about Devin Willock, the left guard. I could tell you that he was like immensely athletic in 6 foot, damn near 8, 335 pounds. I mean, was like really, really fluid as an athlete. And he was really growing into kind of the violence and the physicality that required to be great at the position that in which he played, and seemed like he was gaining a tremendous amount of confidence on the football field. But I can't tell you a single thing about Devin Willock, the person, and Devin Willock, the human being. And by all accounts, it seems like, boy, did I really miss like a tremendous opportunity to meet a tremendous human being. Jabri Abdul-Rahim is a transfer basketball player from Virginia. He originally went, he's originally from Short Hills, New Jersey, just a 30-minute ride southwest of where Dylan Willock was from, Paramus, New Jersey. And when Abdul-Rahim got to campus, he was walking around the athletic facility, and he sees this monstrous human being with seemingly an even bigger smile walking toward him. And it was Devin. And Devin just wanted to welcome him to Athens as a fellow New Jerseyan and just kind of show him around and let him know that, hey, even though you're so far from home, there are people here that you know that can relate to you, that love you. And he didn't have to do that. Didn't even have to cross-pollinate the relationships of sports like that. Typically in college, sports and college life, you kind of have your crews, and that's who you run with. But this was a young man going out of his way to let another person feel welcome. And that's apparently who this larger than life human being was. I was not only heartbroken by the loss of life several weeks ago, but not to make it about me, I was heartbroken by the realization that I'd kind of failed to do my job in a sense. Of course, my job here, or at least something that I've tasked myself with, is to talk and educate football. That's what we do. I think we do it better than anybody else. We come here, we laugh, we joke, we give takes, we do all that good stuff, but we talk and we educate. We love the game of football. That's what we do. But I think the other part of my job that I've tasked myself with is to get to know these people on a more than football basis, because they are more than football players. They are humans. They are people. There are people with stories, people with smiles, people with joy, people that bring joy to other people's life. And when it comes to that portion of my job, I failed you, Devin. So for that, I apologize, and we will be better. We will not miss out on an opportunity to be better. You know what I mean? To be better. And I was thinking we get a lot of super subs on this channel tonight. So I know there are some foundations set up under Devin's name and under Chandler LaCroix's name. So if you guys want to go tonight, we will go $1 for $1 match on any super sub that you guys donate. We will take it straight to those foundations. So let's try to celebrate life and kind of move move the topic. I know it's really, really hard. I know this is kind of why I took time off from being on camera. It's not something that I do. I don't normally take weeks at a time off camera, but we didn't really know what to do about this one. So we've got a loaded show for you guys tonight. Not only are we firing up NBR tonight, it will be nothing but rants moving forward. We will be smiles and we will be joyous as they were. But we've got our film study as well, our very first film study of the offseason coming to you. And we're going to take a look at national title tape. It's going to be right after this, okay, over on patreon.com/Brooks Austin in the Discord lounge. If you have no idea what any of that means, you need to head over to patreon.com/Brooks Austin and enhance your knowledge of the game of football and enhance your knowledge of your favorite football team, or rather about your favorite football team. So yeah, head on over there as well, patreon.com/Brooks Austin. But the main portion of tonight's show, I think I'm going to do a little bit of storytelling. I kind of tweeted out about this today. I think it's unique, the opportunity that I'm provided, right? There's only been like Dog Nation, the AJC, Rivals, Dog Post, The Athletic, Mark Weiser and the Athens Banner Herald. There's like 6, and then your boy. When it comes to people who are allowed to go to football games and cover the University of Georgia, it is a very select few. And then there's local newspapers all over the state, but it really is a very select few. And I was extremely blessed and thankful, and have been blessed and thankful to be around that football team. It's earned, albeit, to be around that football team during the last 3 or 4 years, albeit sometimes from a distant basis, now from a much more intimate basis, and up close and personal relationship with your football team, the guys that you love on a day-to-day basis. So it's been a very, very different viewpoint for me over the last, I would say, 18 months as to what your football program is, and most importantly, who the leader of your football program is. Okay, I like to study people. I'm not like even though I do fancy Criminal Minds, can't watch too many episodes of it because then you just walk around life thinking people going to kill you. But I do fancy myself a Criminal Minds watcher. We can, put together a basis theory of what someone's psychosis is, all right? And I want to kind of diagram what I've learned about your football coach, right, throughout the years. And I will tell you this. Every coach I've ever met that's reached even the level of head coach, like high school be damned, okay, even that level, they reach that level as a head coach and beyond. Boys and girls, I'm here to tell you, they all work hard. They all work relentlessly hard. Okay, they would work 365 days a year if the rules allowed it and their wives allowed it. Every single one of them. The fact that Kirby Smart is a hard worker does not make him unique. In fact, it doesn't even make him special. It is a requirement for what he does, to be relentless with your pursuit of it, right? They're all psychotic about the pursuit of this thing, whatever this thing is that they all want. It's not just about winning, because if it was just about winning, 131 of them will retire every year. Whatever it is about coaching that these guys are obsessive about, they're all obsessive about it. 365 days, constant. Again, they are psychotic about the pursuit of perfection in this thing, whatever this thing is. And anyone who's great, and it doesn't even really apply to coaching, I think it applies to life. Anyone who is great at what they do, I'm talking about like top 10% elite at what they do, they're relentless in their pursuit of it. They work constantly, right? They are constantly hammering down on whatever it is they do. Elite at work ethics. I mean, it's nothing I'm telling you that's new, right? Again, Kirby Smart is not unique because of this. I think Kirby Smart is unique because of the way others respond to his particular psychosis, his particular psychoticism, if I can make up a word here. Because the dude is crazy, all right? Just like the rest of them are. But the way in which other people respond to his insanity and his request that they be insane as well about what it is that they are doing, that is what is unique, all right? I've told this story elsewhere. Shouts out Gatorade Zero. I've told this story elsewhere, but I haven't told it here. This is my platform. You guys come here to hear the takes and opinions and all that good stuff. So I'm going to tell a story here. I was in the tunnel before the national title game, and I had been told, hey, team's supposed to show up 2:45, so I'm doing everything I can, meeting all the people, shaking hands, kissing babies before the game. We're doing the thing, right? We are networking as, the folks at the golf club would lead you to believe that they are doing. Okay, we are networking in pregame, and I do appreciate those super subs. I see them flying all over the place. Networking, right? And then about 2:40 rolls around. Hey, I'm about to go get up a nice spot up in this tunnel because I want to take the first photos of these guys coming into the national title. Okay, I want to get them right off the bus. I want to get some, fire photos. I guarantee Stetson Bennett's fade's going to be the hottest tweet we got going all day. Sure enough, it was almost 5,000 likes, millions of impressions. Right, got to go get them. But I'm sitting in the tunnel. About 2:44 rolls around. 2:45 hits, and boy, you could feel the tension in the air right now. I'm telling you, it was palpable how much tension in the air there was. And I see one of the lead equipment managers doing that one. I mean, he's doing everything but checking his damn pulse. He's doing this all over. I'm like, hey, bro, everything all right? You okay? And he kind of smiles at me. He smiles and he looks at me. He goes, hey, man, every minute, every second that passes, that ass chewing just gets a little bit worse. Just a little bit worse. And what he was obviously implying is that Kirby, I mean, if he's 90 seconds late, everyone in everyone that is responsible with getting them on the time that he designated is fitting to get laid into, right? They're fitting to get some chewing. And it was funny enough, they go on to win the national title. I mean, they blow the doors out TCU. You guys obviously know. And we're at the national title parade. Kirby's up on the podium about to speak and all that good stuff. And I'm walking around as I always do. I'm not very stationary if you ever see me. I'm always moving, I'm basically just trying to run into different people that I know. And we're just trying to do the thing because there's not much access. You can only take so many photos. So I'm doing the thing. I'm walking around. I see the same person. See the same equipment manager that I kind of had the jokes about with in the tunnel. And I kind of rehashed the story. And I said, hey, man, did he get you? Did he come around? Did he circle around? Did he get you? And he was like, nah, man. He laughed. He laughed out loud with the biggest smile of joy on his face and said, nah, man. But he did circle back after about 30 minutes after the game, after everyone had left. And he let me have one. He took a piece of me. So, like, here's why I tell you that story, okay? Just like every one of these guys that is an elite work ethic, that's not unique to Kirby Smart. Neither is micromanagement, okay? Most of these guys that are at this top 10% of what they do, after they've already found the work ethic, after they've already found that relentless drive, the next unlocking, right, is to be able to apply that to everyone else, to be on cue, on go, on site with absolutely everyone you meet, from the offensive coordinator to the right tackle to the person driving the golf cart around with the recruits. If Kirby Smart can come up to you and coach you relentlessly and just give you absolutely every bit of hard coaching that he possibly can, and he could apply that to everybody from top down inside the building, and he damn sure does, that is unique to him. The micromanagement is unique to him, okay? But that's not the key. That's not the key to the success. That's not the key to the machine, in my opinion. The key to the machine, in my opinion, is that every person that Kirby Smart seems to poke, pry, get after, coach hard, fire it up, right? Get after them, chew their ass, all that good stuff. Every single one of them smiles, loves it, enjoys it. It's like food to their soul. You can see in their face. You can see in their eyes. Every kid that he coaches, same way. Listen to the way guys talk about getting MF'd on the microphone at practice, right? I mean, Keely Ringo was the guy that quote-unquote leaked audio was all about. He was asked about it that week. Do you know what he said? I love it. It's part of the reason I came here. Listen to the way the recruits talk when they're able to go up and see practice and see how this guy coaches every single person on the roster. And then goes into the recruiting office and handles everybody in the recruiting staff the same exact way, and is able to be on site with everybody and hold them to that highest level of standard. Here's what I'm telling you. The fact that people enjoy that is unique to Kirby Smart. There are hard asses everywhere in this world. There are people who are on site every single where in this world. You've probably been managed by them, but you probably at some point got old to it. I know my stick gets old. I know people that work with me and work for me that get real, real tired of my shit because I'm always on go. I'm always there. I'm always pressing you. I'm always going. And this is the boss. This is the guy that's running it all down. And they're all just, again, I see it in their face. Not one of these encounters with any of these stories that I've ever had about Kirby Smart does the opposition or does the subject matter of the story or does the recipient of the ass chewing feel like it's anything other than that guy trying to make me great? That's the sauce. If y'all want to know what the secret is, that's the secret. How do you do that? I don't know, because I'm telling you right now, people get tired of shit of Bill Belichick. People get so sick and tired of Nick Saban. Most of them, they stick around because they know it's great. It's for the betterment of them, right? The discipline is required. It's almost like good dieting, sticking around Saban. But I haven't seen a guy yet be around Kirby Smart and be like, you know what? I'm kind of tired of this shit. Travion Scott's gotten offers, guys. Todd Monk has gotten offers, guys. Glenn Schumann has gotten offers, guys. These people don't leave. Todd Hartley, guarantee you, people offer, people calling, people wanting to know. Did Sam Pittman leave? Yeah. To go from an offensive line coach to a head coach, first time since 1992. Ain't been a head coach since 1992 in Kansas JUCO. You think that guy was going to take that job? Hell yeah. All right. Nobody leaves this dude. Nobody gets burnt out off this dude. They use him as a platform, if anything, a jumping, like a trampoline, boom, boom, okay? After bouncing on it for a good minute, catching that rhythm. I'm telling you, that's the gift. Again, people will tell you over and over again his work ethic is elite. Duh. I mean, no duh. Every guy that's in a Power 5 job, I guarantee you that dude works relentlessly. If he's not, I don't know how he got that job, okay? If he's not, I don't know how he got that job. The particular, again, getting other people to just buy into this uniqueness, right? It's why I truly believe they have the hardest. Let's hit these first. Hold on. Before I get into this last kind of topic about why this works. Okay, let's go all the way up. We got one right here from Damien. This is for Devin and Chandler. Says, how about him? Again, we are matching all super subs tonight, 1-to-1, donating directly to Devin and Chandler's foundation. So if you want to hop in here, that would be awesome. Rudy gave us his one as well. Says dogs for Devin. RIP Devin and Chandler. Was able to talk to Devin prior to the season. It seemed like an excellent human being. He is. He is. For Devin Willock Foundation, damn good dog. For Devin Chan. Thank you, Debbie Walters, Robert Franklin, and of course, our boy Rob, Robert Reynolds with the Damn Good Dog podcast. So, got another story for you. I told you it was going to be a little bit of story time tonight with the boy here. And most of these stories are kind of like things that I've picked up through, being exposed to your program and covering your program. And one thing that I have been revelatory with, or not revelatory, it's been a revelation in my career as far as being able to develop relationships with football coaches, which is something that I am rather fond of because I'm vastly intrigued by learning more and more about this sport and learning more and more about the guys who coach it and the people who coach it and how to coach it and how to be great at it and how to be involved, all those things. Eventually, because the COVID restrictions on recruiting were released, right? All these guys were able to really get out on the trail for the first time this year. I know that sounds crazy. COVID was in 2020. The restrictions were still messed up pretty much all of 2021. It was all like, you can come see me, but I can't come see you. I can't travel. We can't do all these things. And in the spring of 2021, in January, floodgates opened, right? In the spring, really. Spring practice is when, phone number after phone number, coach after coach, program after program, from top to bottom. I do it for a variety of reasons. One, you never know who Kirby Smart might offer next. You never know who might get a job next. You never know what relationship you might actually need, right? All these things. But probably the number one reason I try to meet as many coaches as I can is so when November rolls around and Johnny hits me up on Twitter and says, Coach, I don't have nobody looking at me. Can you help me out? We can send them to a list of coaches. So nonetheless, I go to a bunch of high school football games. Y'all know this. We try to go to as many as we possibly can, as does your football program. All right. Your position coaches are out all the time. Every time. See them everywhere they're supposed to be, they're there, right? I've written about this, and again, just like I don't assume y'all listen to everything I do, I damn sure don't assume y'all read, and I damn sure don't assume y'all read me. All right. So I've written about this. We've written about this. This story has been on Dogs Daily, and it's worth your ears. All right. During the semifinals of the state playoffs this year, 6A, due to some I'm going to call them goofy rules in the GHSA bylaws, basically stating that you have to have X amount of stadium seats available, even though the capacity is rarely ever met in these games. Every time your stadium isn't big enough, I guarantee you the opposition, the away team, the should-be away team, I guarantee you they reference this bylaw, and your butt ends up in a neutral site game just like this year. All right, so 2 of these games got moved to Lakewood Stadium down there, southwest side of Atlanta, over there in DeKalb County, okay, just outside of Turner Field, okay, about, I would say, 4.5 miles southeast of Turner, the TED, as we would call it. Shouts out Georgia State. Don't really know what you named your field, sorry. Nonetheless, Milton and Mill Creek are playing at 5:30, and Langston Hughes and Rome High School are playing right after it. All right, so any knuckle dragger that could breathe through their nose and out through their mouth knows, A, going to be some damn good football being played that night with some damn good football players, but B, for this guy's job, there's going to be a whole lot of football coaches out there, right? I mean, top to bottom, from, USC to Oklahoma, to them dogs, to Alabama, to Mississippi State, to Texas, all of them. It was about 3 dozen programs represented on that sideline at some point that night, even Kennesaw State, okay, even the small school, Shorter University, shouts out to the alma mater. All of them were there. So we roll up. And you know your boy, I'm a relationships guy. We like to develop them. We like to cultivate them. Like to do all that good stuff. I'm standing about 5 feet from a Georgia coach. And the elbow, bebop, bebop, bop, bop, comes an opposing coach from an SEC school that shall be unnamed, okay? And he looks at coach and goes, damn, coach, I'll bet you happy to be out here tonight. Don't y'all got this is before the SC championship game, folks. He goes, don't you guys got a SC championship game tomorrow? And the coach looked at him and goes, yeah, but, I mean, ABC, always be recruiting. And the coach turned around and looked at him and said, man, it's my first time out all year. First time out all year. Ain't been to another high school game in the state in which he coached at. Ain't been to the local games. Ain't done nothing. Coach just let him out on the trail. Said he'd been wanting to, but coach didn't allow him to because they had to focus on what they were doing in-house before they were. And this is a school that recruits or had been recruiting at a pretty high level. A pretty high level. But as I've told you here before, there's a difference. There is a really, really big difference between recruiting at the top 3 level, like Georgia has, and Alabama has, and Ohio State has, and recruiting every once in a while in the top 5, but hanging out in that 8 to 9 range. That is Michigan's roster. That is Tennessee's roster right now. That was Florida's roster during the Muschamp years, believe it or not. They recruited relatively well. I looked back at it the other day. Will Muschamp was recruited at a top 20 level, a top 18 level at South Carolina. Couldn't win football games. Nonetheless, your football coach looked at that guy like he was crazy. What do you mean you haven't been out on the trail? I mean, it is all over the place. Then I remembered it, like my brain just went ding, and then I remembered, oh shit, Dale McGee went out to San Diego in the middle of the season. I mean, the night before they're playing in Columbia, Missouri. Took a PJ all the way out there, hung out in San Diego for the evening, watched a couple, quarters of Roger Robinson because Buddy was putting up like 400 yards a game. He was probably out by half. Anyways, flew all the way out there just to show face. He commits to the University of Georgia 2 weeks later. I saw Todd Hartley down there at Valdosta. Why would he be at Valdosta? Well, they were playing Colquitt County, and Georgia was playing Florida in Jacksonville the night before. So I'm sure, I don't know logistically what he did, but I would imagine he probably just said, all right, guys, y'all get going. I'm going to head down in my personal vehicle. I'm going to head down in whatever vehicle I need to. I'm going to rent a car, whatever. And I'm going to drive, stop by Valdosta, and then go to Jacksonville. You know who else did it? Me, because it made sense, right? It's on the way. You got Nye Carr, Landon Thomas on the field, Boo Man White over the other side. Eric Brantley, not a Georgia guy, but a D1 body. Got all these, Division I players. You're the University of Georgia. You should probably go show face there, right? Uh-huh. Did I see anybody else there? No. The only other school I saw was NC State. You know why? Because they were off that week. I saw Georgia again that night at Lakewood, right? I saw Kirby Smart go to the Buford Mill Creek game this year, right? I saw Glenn Schumann at the title games in Atlanta. They're everywhere. They're everywhere when they don't have to be. Of all of these schools, they don't have to do this. I think you get the point at this point, right? I think you get the point. It's just not, it's just it's one thing to work hard. It is. It's one thing to work hard. It's another thing to get others to work hard. That's the key. Get others to love working hard, right? I mean, we all got dreams. We all got hopes. We all say we want things. Very few people work for them. This dude not only works for them, makes other people do so as well. All right. I don't know if y'all noticed. This isn't in the show plans, but I don't know if y'all noticed. We'll go over here. I don't know if y'all noticed, but I think y'all held that Todd Monken guy on. I think you got him. I don't want to jinx nothing yet, but I think you might be out of the woods there. We shall see. I mean, it's gonna be a horrible clip if it doesn't end up that way. But wouldn't it be nice? Todd Monken, 4th year at the University of Georgia. I'm here to tell you, if you look at the wikis, I've been telling you this for years. If you look at the Wikipedia of Todd Monken, I don't think he stayed 4 years at a place since Eastern Michigan in the mid-90s. So if he does it, man, he love them dogs. We already got Debbie, Bryant Sturgis. Thank you, buddy. And Levathian hit us in there as well. I know I keep butchering that name, but you're Levathian to us from now on. You're a family member. We love you, but you are Levathian as far as I am concerned. I was going to do this thing tonight where I actually drew up 11 personnel, why it caused as many issues as it does. And we're going to talk about the transition between the 12 that they ran this year, Darnell Washington and Brock Bowers, and the 12 that they're going to run probably next year with Oscar Delp and Brock Bowers. But we don't have the facilities right now. One day, maybe some massive company will just be like, hey, this film guy dude, maybe we should just bring him on. That'd be dope. I don't know. Until then, we're just going to be in the garage with these handmade studios and these 2 stationary mics and this one little A10 mini switch and get after it. Another ad-lib thing. I get people all the time, Brooks, I want to do what you do. Hey, fam, ain't nothing stopping you. Ain't nothing stopping you except for a little investment in yourself and some efforts. All right, so just effort and do it, right? This is all self-made, okay? This is no backing. This is no major corporation was pumping funding into this. None of that. This is just a dream and a whim, okay? So get after it. I've told multiple people that, and I've seen you effort. If you know who I'm talking about, I've seen you effort and seen you try. Congratulations. Efforts matter. Got people telling me don't forget the sponsor. Y'all know all about the Gramco. Look, if you on the Gramco or not, you're missing out. Gramco.com, thegramco.com rather. Promo code Brooks25, 25% off over there. We ain't forgot the sponsor. They know we show love. We just show love that way. Yeah, I mean, I want to give a shout out. Santavius Bryant, teammate of mine, just got the head coaching job at Grayson High School. Obviously one of the biggest jobs in the state of Georgia. Santavius was a nasty football player in college. Scared me for sure. One of those safeties that if you were in space, straight to the front side knee, straight to the play side knee. We are not going to let him strike our face mask. He's a bullet, and I ain't here to strike with mine. He is. All right, we are going to wrap up tonight's show, but I want to close the show with this. I always send off text messages to people that I trust inside the program that you love. Okay, trust with football opinions. I ain't texting this to football. Okay, which is about all I really talk to. I always send off text messages every single week because I do a lot of film study. You guys know this. I always send off a text message to just say, hey, I'm trying to gauge basically my film study by telling them this is what I see. Okay, this is what I see. This is how I would attack them. This is where they are weak. These are the players maybe that I don't necessarily think are very, very good. This is how you should attack them. Yada, yada, yada. All of these things. I try to do it for 2 reasons. One, to kind of see, hey, am I seeing the same things they are seeing? 9 times out of 10, probably. And B, not only am I smart enough to see it, am I smart enough to know how to beat it, right? And a prime example of this is the offensive text that I sent to offensive coaches, right? After studying TCU's defense, and here's what the text said. Pure and simple. Attack them into the boundary, pin and pull instead of counter. I said I'd mess around, and I didn't say mess. I'd mess around and install power for the hell of it, okay? And I'd run a ton of flood concepts and press them vertically off of play action. Okay, I'm here to tell you, and I'm about to show you, as the biggest donation comes in, I'm about to show you over on Patreon here in a second, okay? Patreon.com/Brooks Austin. He did that for 4 quarters. Todd Monken sat there and said, oh, damn, they're weak into the boundary. We're going to take all of our shots into the boundary. Every single time the ball is into the boundary, into the short side of the field, we're going to take shots. By the way, also not really going to run counter. We might run it a little bit, all logged outside. We're all going to get outside and everything. We are going to install power. They tried to run it the first play of the game. Someone false started. We are going to run power pass off of that power action. We are going to run pin and pull all day, okay? It was, and they got into 21. I said they should get into 21 personnel. They immediately jumped into it middle of the football game. Let's call out Jamie Goodman one more time here. And again, RIP. So yeah, we're matching all of these dollar to dollar. I will count those up before the end of the show. We've got, obviously, that's a hundo, and then another 10, 120, 140, 50, 160, 70, 80. So there we go. 180, double down for a 360 count over there to the foundations of both Devin Willock and Chandler LaCroix. I dislike ending things sadly. And I wish there was a way to just celebrate life when it extinguishes, but that's not what we do. That's not how we are built. We are built to grieve. We are built to be experience sadness, right? That's what love is. When it extinguishes, I guess it becomes sadness. But no more cliche than anything else. They're cliches for a reason. Hug someone you love. Tell them you love them. Call someone you love you ain't spoken to in a while and tell them you love them. Life is fleeting. Appreciate you guys for being here. I love you. We'll be over on Patreon right now. That Discord is probably already loading up in the lounge. Appreciate you guys for being here. Love you. See you.